jump. He gets an armor that has an upwards dash, but it's also really quick and really isn't a double jump kind of. But even getting the blade armor in this game is really complicated.
So you're gonna do it, right?
I guess so.
That's the whole reason we came to see this. We came to see Hundo. 100%, baby. I want to see this game inside and out. All the goodness.
I guess I'll do this guy.
I was waiting for this one because that's the North Pole.
Yeah, so this level. If you play this level normally, it's probably one of the worst levels in the game. I would say third worst. I know that's very specific, but we're doing the two worst stages last.
Yes.
So this one is all ice, but unlike some of the other X games, you can't wall jump off these ice walls. So, but the good thing is that there's ice physics, which normally would not be a good thing, but we can use that to exploit that glitch.
Oh, I see.
Alright, so, yeah, so this level has a bunch of, lots of ice boulders coming down, and, you can't, there's a lot of spikes, there's a lot of enemies, you can't, wall jump off of walls. Yeah, doesn't that sound fun? And now we have these instant death pits, where you can't jump off the...
Wait, when do they stop?
They stop after, like, a billion years. So up there, I guess I'll show it. Up here is actually one of X's Shadow Armor upgrades, which normally you can't get any of the Shadow Armor upgrades unless you're playing as Blade Armor X, because they're usually like hidden behind a really high ledge or spikes or something like that. But the unfortunate thing is that it undoes our glitch. I hope I can get this fast, because it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Nice.
This has really specific timing. It's hard to describe.
Yeah, this seems like it would be very tough to do. Standardly.
So this part, if you're not playing a zero, this part sucks. Come on.
Oh, because he has double jump and...
Yeah, so normally you have to, like, wait a million years. Alright, give me good luck. One spawn to the right. Okay, I'll take it. So this part, even though I have invulnerability, I can get hurt by these. It's not instant death, but it sure is painful. And I have to take the damage.
We did it, lads.
Alright, so I might beat this boss, but probably not.
Oh, with your avail. Wait, did you lose your...
Yeah, when you go through,
Oh, that's
doors.
right.
So generally all bosses, you can't have the invulnerability glitch happening. I'm Blizzard Wolffang.
I like this guy.
Get down here. Two. I've never even seen these attacks before.
Thank you, dog, as always.
I did have literally no.
Yeah.
But that's because I sucked on the previous part. Notice how I don't care about dying in this game at all, because this game's complete bullcrap. So, if it's not going to play fair with me, I'm not going to play fair with it.
This guy's level 3, you better watch out. Okay.
That's how the fight normally goes. Sip.
I'm those bosses every time they die. That's me.
What, exploding for 20 years?
Yeah. Like if it's like, hey, I gotta do some work. No! I
wish I could explode on command.
Hey, it's like self-destruct. You got things. You got lots of things.
Yeah, I guess I can equip some more stuff. The unfortunate thing is that you can only equip one thing per category, I think. So, I can equip one of the 0 things. Saber Plus is pretty good, because that makes my Saber a bit stronger. But I can't equip, like, another one. So, I'm pretty sure that 0 can only equip 3 things, but, Saber Up, Hyper Dash, and Full Heal, that's endgame material right there. Alright, so I guess we'll do this guy. So what I'm going to be doing is actually going to the Nightmare Zone and defeating the second boss that appears after Nightmare Zero, which is the High Max. The cool thing about defeating High Max is that it actually unlocks the gate stages, which skips the entire game. So the any % category in this is defeating one boss to get a weapon that can actually hurt High Max. Because if you go into High Max without one of his weaknesses, it's a dead game until you exhaust all your lives, because you literally cannot hurt him. So that's good game design. And but you get one weapon that can actually hurt him, then skips the gate stages. I would imagine that the run is a complete nightmare, because it's probably super hard.
Gotta love completely game-breaking thing. The background, I gotta say, is pretty cool, and the way the
yeah, I like how this game looks. I won't say anything about the game's graphics or the soundtrack.
The way the guy was shooting stuff from the foreground to the background to the foreground was pretty cool as well. A lot of real cool 3D effects. Just trying to say positive stuff about it.
What? I got hurt in the middle of doing that, so I got knocked out of my animation that was going fast, and I couldn't make it back to the wall in time, so that's cool. Good old X6. I mean, just look at this. Look how many enemies are on the screen. Look at, like, the things I have to dodge. Look at this level design. Like, what are these just descending staircases? Yeah, cool. A bunch of enemies that just spawn for some reason. Just imagine playing this game without cheating or glitching.
Scanning. Yeah, dead meat, son. I like how some of these viruses are like 1 inch away from the Reploids, and they're like, huh?
Yeah.
To the Nightmare Zone, let's go! How's everyone out there in YouTube land enjoying this game so far? I think it's actually pretty fun to watch, but luckily I'm not the one playing it.
The way that I'm playing it right now, it makes it tolerable. Like, when you're just abusing the glitches and playing as Black Zero and just going through it like that, it's kind of fun. But, dude, like, I remember when I was practicing this game all those years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, and, like, I was trying to do it legitimate with just X, and I was like, I can't do this. I don't want to. Also, look at this level design.
What's wrong with it?
So I'm not even going to try to save those guys. Actually, no, I'll show the bottom part, because there's even more. Yeah, so just... Oh, one of them died. Not 100%. Did you like how that nightmare was right on top of that Reploid, and if you didn't save it in a millisecond, it was going to die?
I'm just more disappointed about the not 100% thing.
Yeah, because I'm totally going to do that anyway. Alright. Yeah, so there's no cheese in this fight, because he's not hurt by Zero's Saber or his Buster. You have to use one of his special moves. And this fight is also just not fun at all. And it's actually still hard as Black Zero. So yeah, do you see how much that took?
Damn.
And do you notice how many invisibility frames he has?
Wow.
Alright, so when he does that attack, I can't hurt him at all. So yeah, so 1 1000, 2 1000, 3 1000, 4 1000, 5 1000, 6 1. He's invulnerable for 6 full seconds. And like, that's just enough time for him to start doing his next attack. It's like... There's a lot of these that I just don't even know how to get away from. When he does the shooting or when he does the charge, I really don't know how to get away from it. But luckily I do have a good amount of health ups. Alright, I guess it doesn't. Like, I'm sure if you dance around for like 10 years you can get away from that, but... Spenser, do you remember when we played X6 at Steve's house?
Did we?
Yeah. Like, I think it was with Steve and one of his random friends, and like, we just came when he was doing the gate stages, and we watched him for like an hour, and I remember that, of them...
Oh, yeah, I kind of do. And they were having like a lot of trouble or whatever.
Because the gate stages are even worse.
Yeah, I do actually remember that. Do you, in case you run low on health, do you have,
Yeah, I have that video.
Oh, cool. But yeah, that's interesting. I would not have remembered if you didn't bring it up, but that's funny. Good old Steve. Good old no wallet Steve. He's a delivery driver for the local, one of the better Chinese food places, and he is famous to me because I've never seen him wear pants one time. It's always athletic shorts, every time.
That's what I strive to be.
And he does not have a wallet, even though sometimes he has pretty decent amounts of cash on him.
He just carries like $1,000 in his pocket. Yeah, here you go.
It's like, and it's like in like a, I don't know what you would call it, a baller ball? Like, what do you call that? Gangster ball, where it's just like, yeah.
Doesn't he just like rubber band the dollar bills together?
Yeah.
Like he folds them and have just rubber bands them.
Yeah, I guess the Walter White thing, where it's like not even like...
I mean, I guess he does get a lot of tips from his job, but how about going and bank, bro?
Plus tip. That's what I do when I make CIB deliveries. I go, hey, your delivery's there. It'll be $19.95. Wink. Plus tip. People used to tip...
Do you do most of the deliveries now?
No, Parker does most of them. People used to tip us, like, decently often. I guess when we first started, and now they're like, thanks. Which I never expected them to begin with. I don't even want to say, but it's like, it was funny. Because I'd be like, oh, cool, maybe we'll expect this once in a while. And, like, the past month, we haven't gotten, like, anything. So I was like, okay.
I think everyone in the world is just sick of this situation. And also everyone's poor, including me.
Rip. Plus tip.
I did get my Trump bucks. So that's a good month plus.
Trumpy buckies. Hmm. Oh, yeah. Oh!
So I don't think either of us were paying attention, but I think this cutscene is how Isaac can just stun Zero and keep him completely helpless, and then he just lets him go because he's obsessed with Zero, I guess. And they keep hammering away the fact that he can't move.
The force field, huh? See ya.
Alright, so at this point I could do the gate stages, but we're not going to be doing the gate stages. I'll do the remaining stages.
What a random game for them to be playing, Mega Man X6. Yeah, I want to do a Mega Man game, so I just chose X6. That's ironic, because I'm going to start playing X7. I'm just going to do it, dude. I look like X.
Yeah, he really does look like X. Like, I really like the PS1 era designs. I actually have a, like, fabric, like, poster scroll on my wall of specifically X6. Because I think the artwork is awesome. But a lot of the secondary characters just look exactly the same. Oh, excuse me, lads.
Sorry, lads and ladettes. Gotta have a big ol' sip.
I actually remember. I still think about it sometimes for some reason. I remember doing a phone call at CIB, and for some reason something got stuck in my throat, and I just kept coughing. I kept trying to talk. I'm like, I'm sorry. And I kept coughing for like 30 full seconds. And like the woman on the phone was like, are you okay? I'm like, I guess so. I felt so stupid.
Are you okay, son? You're like, no!
I wasn't even doing anything. I wasn't eating. I was just like, I wasn't drinking. It just happened.
And she was like, yes, but how much can I sell my white 360 for?
Yeah, I don't even remember what the phone call was.
Please tell me!
I haven't been paying attention to the text at all.
Yeah, you can just skip it for all I care.
No! Gotta let the viewers see it. It's over anyway.
Hey viewers, have you been paying it? Put down below, yes or no, have you been paying attention to the story?
Wow, Gate has been behind everything. Who
Alex Swingle, have you been paying attention to the story?
Alright, so let's do this again. But luckily the stage is super short.
Alex, you paying attention to the story, my man? I gotta hop onto Alex's channel and see if he posts videos. And just comment on and be like, hey, I'm commenting on your videos, bro.
Every video you just say, huh.
Huh.
Scene voice, huh.
Flips hair. Huh.
I want a haircut, bros.
Remember Scene Kids?
Remember haircuts?
Well,
I do remember Scene Kids. They were epic.
They were like, huh. And then I remember when they also said, huh. Remember Ed Kids?
What? Ed. That Ed?
Yeah.
Wait, he had kids?
No, I was
okay.
just... Remember Ed Kids? Scene Kids go, huh. And Ed Kids go, Ed.
Yeah.
Eduardo!
Remember when he destroyed our car?
Yeah. Ed's cool. He works with cars, though, you see. And everyone who works with cars is good with them.
Do you, speak to him at all anymore?
No! I have no idea where he is, or if he's in the area, or whatever. I'll just always remember Ed. Hey, it's Eddie. It's Edward. It's Eduardo. I'm Ed Esquire the Third.
Oh yeah, this boss. So this boss is really weird and hectic.
Remember Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
Ed, Ed and Eddie is actually a really, really good show. I actually rewatched a bunch of episodes. I think I watched an entire season like a year or two ago, and it holds up. It's one of those shows that like can make kids laugh, but can also make adults laugh, like SpongeBob. If you don't remember anything about it, I definitely recommend rewatching it. So every time they attack this guy, makes... No, don't do this to me, dude. Okay, it just doesn't want to work. So as time goes on, there's a million clones that spawn a million things, and it sure would be nice.
So this is the power of having to actually do it normally.
Yeah, look at this fight. Look at this disaster. It's a mess.
Can I just point out that the PS1 is not chugging at all? I'd just like to point that out.
Like, what is this boss design? It spawns clones that spawn these bubbles of whatever that is.
It reminds me of a lot of enemies in Gradius when you, like, kill them, like, they spawn other stuff.
And, like, it doesn't even seem like I guess I do defeat the clones, but it's so hectic that I can't even, like, pay attention.
I find it very humorous that sometimes that shield just does not work.
Yeah, so the shield actually doesn't really help with the boss HP itself, but it does destroy the projectiles, and I guess the clones a little bit faster. So, the problem is that this is like my 5th time doing these Maverick stages, and I don't understand how things work. Why doesn't the shield work sometimes? Like, it worked for that one that I was like, oh, it's working? I've never seen this before. And then it didn't work for this one, so I guess it just gives and takes when it wants.
I'd like to call it RNG.
Yeah, RNG game mechanics. If it works or not.
Now, that's my kind of game.
Alright, oh my god, I don't want to do these stages, dude.
Hey, I heard you like RNG, so the whole game's RNG.
Alright, so this one as 0, luckily, is not the worst thing in the world. If you're doing this stage normally, especially with X, and you don't know
Look
the
at this
specific
dude.
thing to do...
Look at this dude!
Blaze heat.
Okay, so what if the game, like when you start it up, right, it's so RNG that sometimes you just beat the game. Like you start it up and it's like, congratulations, you win. And sometimes it just breaks your system.
You know how that one X-Men game on Genesis, when you turn it on, it doesn't have a title screen, and you just start as a random character?
I think that's X-Men 2.
Yeah, it should be like that, but even more RNG. So this entire stage is defeating these big metal donuts, like 5 times each. So if you don't have this attack,
oh man, you have to get around to all the different things. Oh my god.
Yeah, so you literally fight that donut like 5 times, and then the regular stage like this, those flame things. I don't know if you saw how much damage I took, but it's a pretty sizable chunk. So I actually have to pay attention. And this is double. Oh god.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This is double defense. Okay, I'm just gonna BTFO though.
I think X-Men 2 is also the one where you get to the end of that level and you just have to press reset. So that game, they were just like, what things can we do to make people very annoyed?
And the weird thing is that that's an AVGN episode, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that game looks cool other than that random stuff, but like, why did they do that?
The only way it would make any sense to me is if they would have like given some sort of like hint, like really big hint, which it might have because we didn't watch the whole playthrough. Maybe it's like, hey, Wolverine, if you ever get to the point where you don't know what to do, press reset. But what happens if you press reset any other time, like on any other stage? Does it just reset the game? That might be one of those weird ones that if the game isn't too crappy, I'll just, like, do it for an LP and be like, here. It's probably not great. It's probably not bad by any means, but it's probably just like, it's a side-scroller, there you go.
For a licensed game, it's good.
Yeah.
Considering that most Marvel games are, like, LGN garbage.
I still think that's one of the funniest things in the entire world. All these games where you're Wolverine... And literally, they either don't have the freaking claws. Like, what's Wolverine known for? His freaking claws.
Yeah. And the one where he takes out the claws and it hurts him.
It hurts him. There's like 2 of them where they like hurt him. It's like, hey, do you want to use your claws, idiot? Like, it's like, oh, dude, hey, are you sure you want to use Zelda's sword? Or Link's sword? Are you sure? Because that's gonna take some damage, bruh. It's just so good. There's been a lot of bad games made, lads, in the history of the world. And we're glad to bring you most of them on this channel. Trevor plays good games once in a while. I don't. I'm already thinking about what I'm doing next after Code Veronica, and I'm like...
You should continue the Dreamcast train.
Yeah, the only problem is my Dreamcast selection, personally, is not, like, huge, because...
You should actually get good at Crazy Taxi and do like some God Run.
Well, the only problem with that is I would just have to sing all the music the whole time. That's the whole LP would be me going, yeah.
That's the whole charm of the game.
Remember the Offspring?
Games. Yeah.
Remember how Dreamcast graphics still look pretty good nowadays?
Yeah. Especially since they used, like, they weren't, like, mug graphics. Like, something like Jet Set Radio, because it's shell-shaded, still looks so good.
And then you can do Sonic... Oh, that should be your next one. Sonic Adventure, the non-Sonic characters.
Yeah.
We need some comfort. After all of these horror games... After all these horror games and bad games, we need literally Tails, and Big the Cat, and Knuckles, and Amy... I think there's someone else I'm forgetting. Is there 6 overall? T260G.
It's Sonic, Tails, Amy, T260G, Big, and Knuckles.
I like how that's definitely not his name. I think it's E102 now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, I wasn't even thinking. I just said T26G without even realizing that's Soccer Frontier.
Yeah, T26. I like when you have to name T260, and like if you like look at the in Soccer Frontier, and when you pick his name on the title screen, it's like T260G. You're like, oh, okay, well I guess I have to add G to it. And then the Octopus Magnum's like, I'm gonna add G to his name for my name or whatever, and it's like, now you'll be T260GG. Thanks. Oh man, so good. Yep, you need to do that. And just only do Big the Cat. And do it over and over again. And set world records on it. Just be like...
There's some of them, like, at least Amy is super short. And, like, Tails is actually fun. Knuckles is actually pretty fun, despite... The reason why I never want to do Sonic Adventure 2 is that...
The Knuckles stages are so dumb.
The Knuckles and Rouge stages are so bad. Because in the original Sonic Adventure 1, you're doing the same thing. You're finding the 3 crystal shards. And... The radar lets you know where each one is. It doesn't matter which one you picked up. It will let you know where all of them are. But in the second game, not only are the stages like 10 times bigger, like literally, you can only do one. The radar only picks up one at a time. And it's like, why did they change that? Remember this thing from X4?
I do!
Yeah, use it for about 2 seconds. So the cool thing about this is that it blocks this. This is the entire gimmick of the stage. This trash compactor.
Oh, but you can't be crushed on it?
The mech can't be crushed on it. I can be crushed on it. So I'm going to leave that there, and it actually affects it the entire stage.
Oh, wow.
Or, not the entire stage, this entire that portion.
Yeah, until you get to, like a checkpoint
and
or whatever.
the cool thing is that I can also use the glitch in this stage.
So, I'm going to go ahead and say that, although Saturn is the most unique system I can think of, that's also good. Like, yeah, okay. Virtual Boy is the most unique system, but no one wants to play it. But, like, Saturn's the most unique system, but...
No, stop it.
Definitely Dreamcast is the most comfy system. I think that's not really up for debate.
Oh, Dreamcast, in terms of mainstream consoles, is the most soulful system by so much. Like, the Saturn is also weird, but it's like, it's too weird.
PS1 is a cool system, and obviously better than, like, the Dreamcast and the Saturn, but it has so much just random garbage on it that it can't be Soul.
Dude, come on. Every time, if you hold up and press jump, it does that stupid this move, and you grab onto the wall, and it always screws me over. It's never helpful.
I wish Dreamcast was easier to collect for, because I would like to focus on that once I'm done with Saturn.
Yeah, it's like, at least the library's small. But
it's small, and
but it's ridiculous.
The good news is that, like, even the most expensive game isn't, like, ridiculous. He just stands there and shoots forever.
Oh, I lost
yeah,
my
unlike the Saturn or Sega CD, there's no games that are like $1,000.
I don't know why I lost my vulnerability, but whatever.
But Dreamcast sucks that, like, even random, like, Tony Hawk Pro Skater is like $20, and you're like, dude, come on. Like, the only games that exist for it that are like $5-10 are like sports games, and that is it. Nothing else.
Yeah, it's like NFL 2K. There you go. There's your
although those games are awesome. Literally the 2K games. Oh, so some guy asked about a 360 today, and he also had ESPN NFL 2K5 to buff, right? And Parker went out to go grab the game, and he came in and was like, seriously, he's buffing this game? Are you serious? And I was like, Parker, it's ESPN NFL 2K5. It's the best football game of all time.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Even I know that.
And he was like, what? He was like, shut up. And he was like, this game is worth like $1. And I was like, no, it's literally considered the best football game of all time. And him and George kept going on and on about like how like I was just making crap up, and I was like, all right, okay, watch this. While I was buffing, I was like, all right. I just Googled best football games of all time, and the first list that came up, I was like, here we go. All right.
Yeah, it's like NFL Blitz in that game.
Yeah, it was like the top 5 were like Madden 04, which generally people love. Something. Then number 3 was definitely Blitz. Number 2 was Tecmo Super Bowl, and number 1 was ESPN 2K5. And I was like, there you go, Parker. And he was like, well, it's still probably like, why is he buffing a $2 game? And I was like, look it up. And it's like 15 bucks. And I was like, bow down to me. I know everything.
By the way, I don't know if you're paying attention to this
Yeah,
stage,
it would be impossible.
but this is the worst stage in the game by a lot. Not only because it's boring, because you can't do more than 1 second of movement, but look at this. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the one part with the...
I'm holding down so hard.
With the spikes would be impossible.
And it has the worst mini-boss of all time, too.
Ooh, it's like the thing from Mega Man X.
What, like Rangda, Dangda, whatever it's called.
Is that the name of that boss in the Sigma stage?
Yeah, like the thing that shoots its eyes out and
Cool.
you shoot its eye. I think it's called Rangda Bangda.
So, I just want to point out that I was right, and Parker had no basis in being like, why is he buffing 2K5? I'm like, seriously?
Please let me do this. Please let me do this! No! Oh, dude, if I don't do that the first cycle, it like does like 30 seconds of attacks.
Cool.
And also lowers itself to crush you. Because, of course, you need more crushing. Alright, cool. By the way, I don't know what it is about this game, or those rooms in general. When you're in the pre-boss room, right there I tried to switch weapons, which I had mapped to triangle. For some reason, for the first like 3 seconds, you can't switch weapons. And it happens every single time. Please, please work. No, you piece of garbage. This boss isn't that hard, but thanks for not working. I don't understand this game.
I mean, imagine if you were using it just as, like, the boss's, whatever boss's weakness.
I just
and
don't
it was
understand.
like, no.
I did a run today and it worked. It worked fine. I don't understand how this game works.
Does it when you choose it, does it automatically come up, or do you have to press a button for it? Not that it matters, but
When you picked it out of the menu, it happens automatically.
I don't understand. Well, at least you don't have to hold it in. Yeah, it's just like, no matter how many sports games are made, and of course they make them every single year, there will always be that sports game. NHL 94 for the Sega Genesis, ESPN 2K5 for the PS2, and he was like, what's so good about it? I was like, dude, it has features that were never before or after in football games. Like, you have like your own like quote-unquote crib, where you can just like get all these awesome things and like take virtual tours through your like house, and it's awesome. You can like earn like pool tables and weird stuff like that.
Alright, so yeah, we're done. So, yeah, that wasn't as bad as I thought. It could have went better, but we're going to be doing the rest of the gate stages. I'll probably start off with showing maybe some of the extra collectibles and maybe some of the extra nightmare zones if they're interesting. But yeah, we're done for now.
Yeet! See you next time, guys, for more Mega Man X6 action. And everyone's going to be happy about it because it's a good game. See you next time, my shoots!